competing? When did it become about competing for love? Love and competition, when do they even exist in the same area, or should they exist in the same space? If I love you and you love me, what is there to compete about?
I think where they have it wrong is that, like, in the beginning stages of meeting folks, you're supposed to, your behavior upon getting to know this person, this is for the love of Ray J, flavor of love. Like, you don't know this dude, he don't know you either, and you have to go through all these tests and trials in order to get to know him. You're not going to you can fall in love with somebody in a 4-week period. I believe you can. But most of the time, you know, when Ray J is getting ready for elimination and he tells a girl, you need to step it up, what step it up mean? You know, in his mind, you haven't came to his room yet.
I ain't hit that chick.
You haven't let me know that if I wanted it, I can get it, right? So that's the kind of portrayal of getting to love that they're sharing. Like, what does it really mean to not to try to fall in love with somebody, but to fall in love with somebody? Like, when he eliminates girls, it's not about who they are. It's not about, how much of them he thinks he can grow with. It's about, how much they put out there. And that's what, finding love is about on reality TV. And I think that's where it's all wrong.
I think we have to think about, like, what are the examples that our young people have of love or whatever. Like, the reason why they're putting so much emphasis, and like your niece is putting so much emphasis on a relationship that she sees on TV, especially if it's like a black relationship, is because first, in the media, there's not that many representations of black love, just in itself. And then in general, like the black family, in terms of like broken homes, people don't have an idea of like the 2-parent home and mom and dad and things like that. So the whole idea, like, the reality TV isn't any kind of real reality, because first, like you said, it's like 3 months broken down to 12 episodes at 30 minutes. And basically you got to think about what they're going to be emphasizing. They're going to be emphasizing the hot tub scene and like what is going to get a lot of people talking and paying attention. And at the same time, they're like supplying these people with like massive amounts of alcohol. Like, where in reality do you have an unlimited supply of alcohol?
Claire, just in all honesty though, if the average person knew that the person that they were dating was dating like 14 other people, like, and you were really into that person, you wouldn't even date them. You'd be like, I'm good. So that makes it a big unreality too, because nobody really wants to like date somebody and call them your man or your woman and share them with 14 other people and be cool with it, to the point where you're like throwing yourself at a person. Like, you would walk away in reality.
I just been thinking about VH1 in terms of like the shows that they've had in the last like 5 years. And if you look at like 20 years ago, you couldn't even be black on VH1.
Right.
And then the representations that they allow to become like a part of like their programming.
Right.
Like, you have like the Flavor of Love and the New York shit, and like all of these like people who are cast to be a stereotype of some type of black archetype that may or may not exist or something like that. It's just like it's just real ironic that all the way up until this time, you couldn't even have like a black musician. They wouldn't even play Michael Jackson on VH1. And then now the reality shows that they have are focused on pseudo black life and
Coonery, the sexism in reality TV show within the racism. How many shows can you count where there's men competing for women as opposed to the women?
Just
Two.
two. Just two.
Just two.
Just two.
The Bachelorette.
Okay. And I Love New York. Yeah.
That's one more.
Tila Tequila.
Oh,
With the
Playgirl twins
I don't think so.
or Playboy twins.
oh, they have like
Well, and this brings up something totally new, and I don't want to get off yours, but something totally new. The fact that it used to be that things that had so much sexuality in them had to be on a show or on a station that you had to pay to get, and now we have it on primetime TV at primetime hours when kids are just finishing their homework and eating dinner and have time to sit down and watch TV. Go ahead.
like we spoke about, we got Flavor of Love, we got Love of Ray J. What else we got? Help me out.
I Love New York.
No, I'm talking about
Just
just
Rock
Man.
of Love.
Oh, just
The Rock of Love. I mean, what is it?
The
What is that
Bachelor?
saying?
The
What
Bachelor.
is that saying to younger girls? You know, it's not really that the men sit while we wait for women to come and vie for our affection, and we wonder why
The world's backwards?
the world's backwards. We got these, I'm sure I can count on my hand more times than not the women that, I don't want to say that sounds, fuck it. The women that will fight over me. Say for instance LMU.
Oh God.
Sorry. Say for instance LMU. It's not a lot.
Man, I can't speak. I can't speak. I lost my words. I
I'll
really
say
Somebody else can take it.
I disagree. You have gone after a woman because remember, I didn't like you at first.
Oh God. There was this poetry event that I hosted.
Damn, homie.
I hosted that event. That's where I met you, right?
Damn, homie.
And at this event, you got up there and you did this poem
Okay.
like Love Jones.
What happened
Get
was
into the poem.
But if you want to,
In what specific ways, though, if they're different, then does it occur? And why?
Yeah, because you don't often see it.
You really don't.
you don't have to see.
like often.
Men
a
compete.
man, a black man competing
Yeah.
with another man, be him black or another
Yeah.
ethnic background.
9 times out
Or
of 10, they're
a
just
woman.
like, oh, whatever.
that kind of.
I mean, you gotta put that on sometimes. That's
Wasn't
just
that-
the front.
That's the front.
What's the front?
You saying I think with women it's more like out in the open and then everybody can see what's happening, and then a man might play it off a little bit more and still like be like fuck this motherfucker, but not gonna let all of that just be put themselves out.
What is
I
that
don't
about,
know.
though? Because
It's ego.
men really
I
want
disagree.
women to compete, but they don't want to show you that they would compete
But
for
that's
you.
because that's social currency. If we see, for me, like as a man, if I see women competing for men and things like that, and you can see that, like that, especially for like women who are insecure and stuff like that, that's what is driving them, and like you can easily manipulate someone in that fashion.
I disagree a little bit. I think women have a lot more unspoken competition going on than men. The intricacies of women when they're going after man are beyond me.
It's amazing.
Beyond me. So I disagree a little bit. I see where you're coming from. Like we're not gonna come out and be like, I like you, be my woman.
I
But
mean, you might do that too.
we might. But I don't know. In my experience, I think it's been more times where it's the women have their little looks, or she looked at me differently, and I couldn't even tell you what that was about, but they would have
That's
a whole
acceptable
conversation.
and encouraged. So that's why the environment of that kind of like competition between women continues to happen, because like it's encouraged. I don't know how to get more specific than that, but like
Who's encouraging it?
men and women, like it's more accepted that women are gonna fight with each other, so like people let that happen.
So it's a value that we accepted.
To this day, my grandfather, 86-year-old, still takes care of my grandmother. And, something definitely was lost along the way, because my grandmother did not compete for my grandfather. He was married to somebody else. That marriage was not working out. He had just got out of the war and married my grandmother. And so somewhere along the lines, I don't know if it was my family's or my mother, but somewhere along the line, we felt that this competition thing was important.
I think you spoke on something really important. You were speaking about how you had these examples in the home. What's combating with what's being in competition with reality TV show in the homes. I think that's an element that we haven't talked about yet. What's happening in the homes to where we can say, baby, this is a television show. Who's telling these youngsters that this is a television show? They shouldn't have to go to the internet to look that up.
Right.
But people, they're watching TV by themselves.
Yeah.
Correct.
Latchkey kids.
Correct.
And a lot of people don't know what their kids are watching, or they know, and they know the name of it, but they don't really know what's going on. They know something
monitor it.
negative is happening, but they don't really know